Show some gratitude. Please, I got you to the hospital. I've just got you back from the hospital. I've been taking care of you. You have received very good treatment, and I have just rearranged this apartment in very short time to look after you.
Yes, someone's killed Teller.
What?
Teller! He's in pieces all over my living room.
Come here, babe.
Don't fucking touch me! Stop giving me empty promises that you're going to be here when you're not. I'm going to drink myself to fucking death, and it's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault.
This is Red Moon Roleplaying. It is the early night of the night of voting. And you haven't really thought much about that voting. You know it's important, but there's just been so many other things in your life. It's kind of a theme with this entire ordeal, that although you've had this common goal in mind, is taking care of the delegates, the Lasombra delegates, there's just been so many other things. Being a vampire is juggling two different worlds. It's making those worlds work in synergy, and it's sometimes so hard that it isn't possible. But right now, you know that it is expected of you to make an appearance at this voting that is detrimental for the Camarilla, not only in Chicago, but eventually globally. It's early night. You have a couple of hours before you have to make it to the forest glade where the voting will take place. And I want to know where you all are, and I want to know if you have any plans before the voting. As I mentioned, you only have a couple of hours, so I want to start with Vincent. Vincent, what have you been doing after this accident?
Well, I woke up, as I do. I went to my pager to page Teller, and I remembered he's dead, and that will need to be rectified. I'm going to need a new retainer. Part of me is wondering if I really want Sire to give me a new one. Maybe I could have my own, actually my own this time. I wonder if Miss Messenger would be interested. And then I think, no, don't think like that. That would curb her usefulness quite a bit. And I'm not sure I'm ready to Google someone. Am I? No, maybe not. Not yet, I don't know. But then, I don't know, maybe then Sai will just send someone anyway. She might not even allow me. She might get jealous of me having someone like that. I'll get ready. I'll fetch my own nice suit again, a nice jacket, tie, look a bit presentable. I'm not entirely sure I have any plans. I'm trying to remember if anything was even due to happen tonight. Teller would remind me of engagements I had. I'll have to look at the phone. Is there anything on the phone?
Not aside from the usual news from various news sites. It's horribly empty, and you usually get a morning message, well, from your servant, but it just isn't there this morning. It's an incredible emptiness.
Yes. I spent a moment looking at the coffee table. Well, actually, the absence of coffee table. They cleaned up, but they didn't replace furniture. I'll need to buy a new one. The room doesn't look right without it. Yeah. And I'll go and look at that view of the city. That cheers me up normally, doesn't it?
You can see that the sun has just set. There are just licks of sunlight on the night sky still, but it's quickly fading away over the horizon. Although it seems like your entire world has changed, it's just like the world around you hasn't. Everyone is just going about their business, doing whatever they need to do. But here you are. Empty.
Yes, I watched the city skyline for a moment. And, I better give Sire a call. I'm gonna need to at one point address the fact that I'm going to have to move. I can't stay in this flat, not when an unknown individual, possibly unknown himself, but maybe also someone else, knows where I live now. That won't do. That won't do. I shall ring my sire.
Hello?
Sire, I'm sorry to bother you so early. It's Vincent.
Yeah, I know.
I just wanted to check in. Will you be attending the event tonight? The voting?
I believe we all obliged to do so.
Oh, wonderful. Well, then maybe I'll see you there then.
Yeah. Did you clean up the mess, or did they clean up the mess? I don't remember what I...
Oh, it's all sorted. Of course, sire. All sorted, you know. Yes, they came, they cleaned things up. I dealt with the loose ends. It's all sorted.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, let's just talk later tonight, okay?
Of course. I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Bye.
She hangs up. I put the phone away. I give Messenger a ring.
Hello?
Claudia, darling, hello. How's it going?
Hello. It's I'm busy, you know. But I'm fine. Yeah. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not going to be able to have any meetings tonight, I'm afraid. I'm busy. Is there anything going on? What are you doing?
She seems a little hesitant answering. She's not used to you calling her ever just to small talk. I'm fine, and I'm not up to that much other than work. Is there anything you want from me?
Well, no, I just... Next week, any events to be attending? Who's the newest voice in town? Who do I need to shred?
Well, no one really. I haven't really looked into next week. Can I call you back with that? Because I'm really busy with work right now.
Oh dear, I'm so sorry you're busy, Miss Messenger. It's not like I just gave you a very substantial raise.
I mean, yeah, sure. Do you want me to find out right now, or...?
Yes, well, not right now. Just get on it, Messenger. I pay you money, and you should be doing your job.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I should. Sorry. It's really, I'm off work. You know, I know you work at night, but I don't. I was just at the movies with my boyfriend. But
I see, at the movies with the boyfriend. Well, that's all splendidly interesting to me. Look, Messenger, just fine. Watch your film or whatever you're doing, and just get on with your work. I don't pay you. I've been paying you quite a bit more than I used to. I'd like a little bit more response on your end.
Sure.
Okay, if you want to go up in the business, you need to listen to me. You need to be quick. You need to be savvy. You've got the potential, but you need to be focused.
Right. Okay. Sure, thanks, I guess.
Yes, sure, wonderful. What are you watching?
Just the new Batman movie.
Yeah, the new Batman movie. Fine, wonderful, enjoy your evening. I hang up, feeling irritated. I just gave her a raise, and that's the thanks I get. I get the thanks of being uninformed. Great, wonderful. I look around my apartment with nothing else in it, just... I guess I'll go, and I'm going to go to the meeting. I'm going to go to the meeting. I'll make sure to pick something up on the way to eat, and then again it occurs to me I won't be able to have someone drive me. I'm going to need to drive myself. Well, I will. I will drive my own car there. Yes, sure, why not? I can drive drive my own vehicle, just about.
Are you going to go there right away?
I'm going to go there right away after trying to stop off at one of the little art galleries I know that might have some people in, and maybe just do my usual routine of getting my food, which would be to find someone, show my card, talk about future negotiations, have a quick bite, make them forget the bite, and then maintain the negotiation. I do, after all, despite what some people think, actually keep my word with those I feed from. I do only feed from those I actually consider talented, after all.
Okay, you successfully do so I don't know if you have any points in hunger?
I did, so I'll just take 1 hunger.
Yes. Alan!
Yeah.
You wake up in your boyfriend's apartment. You stayed there overnight. You wanted to make sure he was okay.
Yeah. And I roll immediately, I guess. See if I get hungry.
Yeah.
I have a success, so I do not get hungry. And I wake up there, and I think Michael had to do something tonight, that he was gonna do an audition for some guy.
Yeah, Michael isn't there. He's already left.
Yeah. And I know someone's looking after my pets. So everything is kind of cool. I give Beethoven a scratch, and then there's something in the back of my mind that keeps gnawing at me. And I'm gonna say if I can find Crook.
Alright.
I kind of want to see him and just talk through, explain why we haven't been able to do his favor yet, the gravity of the situation, and also because he is a clanmate, whether, you know, how things are or not. And I kind of want to know his opinion. He's the only one that I've spoken to in a longer conversation.
So you head off to Crook's?
Yeah, I drive there.
When you arrive, you can see that Crook's isn't open tonight, actually, and you kind of gather that it has something to do with the voting later. Most of the Kindred-run places are either understaffed or closed because of the big event tonight. It seems like the entire Kindred side of the city is just focused on something else. They know that this is important.
Yeah. So, the last time I saw him, I was at this, one of his establishments that was sort of under refurbishment.
Yes, and it's the same one.
Yeah, still closed. I go up to the side door that I found the last time, and I knock on it.
A couple of seconds passes before you can hear a ramble. A couple of bottles falls to the ground. Someone saying, "Shit. 1 second." A little while after, you see this slit at the door going to one side, and you can see Crook's eyes. Oh.
Hi.
Hello. Oh, there.
Hey, mister.
Familiar eyes, I see.
Yeah, it's been a few days. Want to talk a bit? You got some time?
Sure, kid. Come in. Are you alone? Where's your friends?
No, it's just me. They're doing other stuff. They're talking to their clanmates, I think.
Are you going to the voting tonight?
I am. And I promise you, I'm not gonna threaten to burn down your place tonight.
Nah, I threaten to burn down places all the fucking time.
Yeah. I figured we had something in common, you know. See, yeah, of course, you know about all that, and you know how it went down, and you know what. Now you know all about what we've been doing, and I'm sure why we've been sort of overwhelmed with this whole ordeal. I'm sorry we haven't been able to perform your task yet, but you know, as soon as all this shit blows over, I'll be on it like a hunting dog, you know.
Yeah, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's
Yeah.
you know.
No, man. No,
Yeah, when it's listen. You're my child, so why would I want you to break your neck over this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, I'm not sure if the prince told you that, but hey, it's me. Your sire.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not the perfect father figure, I suppose.
You just. I stand there looking completely flummoxed, looking into his eyes as if I'm waiting for him to let me know that this is a joke, but he's not joking.
You need a seat, kid?
You the guy that owns my apartment?
Yeah, I own a lot of buildings in the town, as you can see.
Holy shit.
Couldn't exactly call the apartment buildings crooks, that would be kind of weird.
Yeah. You're serious?
Yeah.
You my Wow.
Yeah. I know.
I mean, a few years back, and I don't know what I'd done, but
well,
is this why you keep hiring me for stuff?
yeah.
I mean, the playing. I've been playing at your places for.
I know.
That was that before or was that after?
Both. It's been difficult for me too. But I thought it was about time the prince contacted me and said that he wanted me to figure out who you actually belong to. Well,
Oh.
at least did. And that's... I can't run from it anymore, kid. It's I. I'm sorry I haven't been there. I made you in a rush. Not in a... It wasn't completely random, but it was a rush, and I didn't at the time feel like I had the capability to be a good sire, so I thought that leaving you to make your own path would be better.
And I look at him, and I look at all his burns, how messed up he looks, and thinking of how messed up I am, and that I kind of owe that to him. And it's like I'm searching within myself for hard feelings, but it's like in this moment I can't find them. And I think back on when we met last and how he was kind of, teaching me up how to behave to people, just like some kind of fatherly figure. And he's standing there and looking awkward. I slowly start smiling. All right, so what does this mean? You're gonna teach me about the world now, or what? What are we?
If you want someone like me to teach you about the world, sure.
I mean, look, man. I'm not a hyper social person. I've been doing well for myself, but
well, do I look hyper social to you?
No, that's what I mean, man. I think we got a lot in common.
Yeah, that was why I chose you, kid. You reminded me of me when I was young, as a young struggling artist. You can call it that.
You were an artist?
Sort of. Look, I just want to say I'm sorry. I know that I ran from my responsibilities, and I kept your secret for a very long time, and it's wrong. I should have been there. I should have taught you about the world. You've been born in fire. You've been thrown into it, and it's unfair on you. I might be old and decrepit and mean, but I'm not heartless, and I know when I've done wrong, so I'm sorry.
You know, it's okay. I haven't been exactly, perfect myself.
Well, none of us are.
The thing is, I feel like, despite some of the troubles it might have caused, just changing myself like this, I can't say that it's been completely bad for me. And it's just one thing's weird for me. Suddenly I feel like I want to open up. I have a partner and stuff, and what do you do that?
Partners? Nah.
Yeah.
Not really. I know that you're gay, man. That's kudos to you. That's fucking difficult in a world like ours. You would think that we would progress. I mean, I remember back in the
Really?
60s.
Yeah.
Further back, it's still taboo to show affection towards someone of your own gender. Isn't that fucked up?
What, in the kindred, in the vampire world? I didn't
Everywhere,
think
man. Everywhere.
Huh.
It's a disgrace. But good on you for keeping it going, man.
Thanks, man.
I want to meet your partner one day.
Really?
Yeah. If he wants to meet me, I don't know if he knows how much he knows about your other side.
How much would you like him to want to know?
I mean, whatever you want. I'm not the boss of you. Whatever you're comfortable with.
You're not a strict followers of rules.
Me?
I get it.
No, I am not. Trust me, the only reason I'm going to this fucking vote tonight is because Jackson will have my head on a platter if I don't.
So what do you want to do about that?
I don't know.
What do you think about the whole thing?
I don't know, man. It's difficult, isn't it? I haven't been in a situation like this before. It's
Well, so let me get this straight. This clan has been at war with the clans in the Camarilla.
Oh, the Sabbat?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Whatever she comes from, she says she comes from some Sabbat city. I don't know what.
Yeah. Well, Clan Lasombra is Sabbat, and the Camarilla and the Sabbat have been at war since way before my time. We have very different perspectives on what being a vampire is, what you should do and what you shouldn't. You know what? Sometimes I can empathize with the Sabbat. Sometimes this fucking Camarilla system is too much. Which is why, yeah.
But you still want to be...
I think Cedric, well, the leader of our clan, is very much on a yes for getting Lasombra into Clan Camarilla. Maybe we can learn something from them,
Cedric?
Yeah, Cedric Calhoun, he's the leader of the clan Nosferatu.
What's he like?
He's alright. He's, I get along with him just fine. We're not the best of friends, but...
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't I'm sorry, talking to you, like, I would expect you to know these things, but of course you can't, since I haven't really taught you anything.
Hey, that's fine, man. We're just talking. It's good. It's good to talk. But what are you gonna do? Where are you standing in the question? I mean, I don't know if I should be so direct. I just don't know what to think about it myself, because there's no value at all in this for me. It should
be value to you. It's as much as we alienate ourselves from the Camarilla, having a Sabbat clan join us is quite a big thing. I believe that we can learn something from them, so I think we should let them get in here.
Yeah, with the term specified by the prince, it seems pretty strict, you know. It's like they're gonna have to give a lot up.
Well, what are they gonna get up? I haven't heard that.
Well, what he told the Sierra from Lasombra.
The Lasombra chick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that they would deliver all the elders. That would be the deal.
Deliver them where?
Staked to the prince.
What?
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No.
Did Clan Lasombra offer that on themselves, or did Jackson do something?
Is that Prince said that, like, this is what I want, almost as if he didn't expect her to deliver it, and she was like, oh, all right, we'll do that. Yeah.
Well, fuck me. This just got very, very interesting. Now I'm looking forward to this meeting tonight. Holy shit.
I mean, that would require the whole clan to sort of mobilize and turn against their own, you know.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun to me.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, always gonna draw a lot of attention. You know what? One of the guys that I was hanging out with said they were like mortals who knew more than they should, and that they were sort of hunting people. If there's this big sort of civil war inside, you think that won't sort of draw more attention to us?
I don't know, man. Hunters has always been a problem. Well, not always, but for a long time at least. Ever since the church got involved. But, you know what? It's getting late. I think we should get there.
Yeah.
Let's take my car.
Oh, really?
You know how to drive?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, well, you can drive us there.
Yeah, sure. I could try you.
Cool. Dolph, what are you up to?
Waking up with the sunset in the bed that I'm sharing with Ada again. It's greatly reassuring to have her by my side. Is she awake?
No, she's sleeping.
I stare at her for a while, taking her in, admiring her beauty, even without the makeup and the fashionable clothing. That mussed-up, tired look is something I appreciate about it. I look at her hair, playing across her face, move a couple of strands that are stuck to her nose down to the side. Resist the urge to plant a kiss on her because she's clearly peaceful, just as I had hoped she would be, relaxed in this place where I've made her safe. I know there's business to attend to, business I would much rather have nothing to do with, but we all have our burdens to carry. I get out of bed. I make my way to the bathroom. I go through my regimen. I get on the exercise bike. I do a few laps of the virtual track. Climb some hills, all for no reason, except it's part of the ritual. Get off the bike, have another shower. Dress myself in something appropriate for outdoors wear. A thick suit, yes, a thick blazer with a roll neck underneath. Well, that seems appropriate. And do I go with a label or... I stop, I look in the mirror, admire my body for a second. Yes, this is starting to feel like normal again. Ada's back. Everything is falling back into place, and once tonight is over, things will be back to normal. I won't have to keep ferrying people around for some prince. I won't have to keep dealing with vulgar Lasombra or anything like that, or setting anyone on fire.
You look very handsome. You can see that Ada has gotten up from her sleeping position. She has wrapped a blanket around herself, and she's smiling and looking at you.
Well, I have to look handsome for you. My love, you are, after all, the very vision of beauty. Especially when you're laying there in bed.
I wouldn't say so, but thank you. Where are you going?
I have a meeting with some bosses out in the city. I need to make a phone call. I take a look. My phone is on the bedside table. It's not on her side. I go over, pick it up, smile. I'm just going to be popping into little cubbyhole to make a call. Don't get up. I'll make you a drink once I'm done.
Okay, I'm gonna go get back to bed then.
Mm-hmm. I head to the Ada and Dolph room, close the door. Find Marcel's number on my phone, the ministry member that I spoke to several nights ago about Malenkov. I give him a call.
Marcel?
Dolph, how are you doing?
Oh, hello, Dolph. It's been a long time. No here. Or she.
Well, it's not like we speak every night, Marcel, but, you know, there's various events taking place tonight, so I thought I would give you a call to find out how it is we are moving, if at all. Are we voting? I know our clan, our family, our group is technically not a part of the Camarilla, but I assume we're still getting a vote in this poll.
The question is, Dolph, if we are moving, since I don't really feel like we should be responsible for any of this. We are a traditionally we are a non-Camarilla clan. I don't know. I feel split. I feel like it is not our place to vote, if you get me.
Well, that suits me just fine. I honestly have no opinion one way or the other regarding this political nonsense. And I don't think it's going to matter a great deal to us whether the Lasombra are with the Camarilla or against it.
No, not to our clan. As you know, Dolph, we tend to keep to ourselves. We are not necessarily a big player in the vampire community, especially not in the city. So, I don't know. I think we're gonna throw in a neutral vote.
Well, I will come along just to say that I've been there for this ostentatious and auspicious occasion, and then we'll part ways and you probably won't hear from me again for several months.
How's your partner? Ghoul? No, it's not your ghoul, right? It's your what's her name again?
She's fine.
Yeah, after I heard about the whole hospital ordeal.
She's fine. Thank you for asking.
Well, you're welcome. I'll talk to you later, Dolph. See you at the meeting.
I hang up. I'm already bristling with the fact that he's the second kindred that's asked after Ada, after the prince did. I'm not really enjoying the amount of intrusion into my personal life. But it is refreshing to know that the Ministry are taking a politically neutral stance when it comes to this vote, because it means I don't have to strain any muscles over what happens to Sierra and Malenkov or any of their clanmates. Frankly, I don't give a shit. But I'll go along and whatever seems easiest. I leave the den. Is she still in bed?
She is. She's sitting up and reading on her phone.
I smile. Don't go reading the news. It's just going to stress you.
Oh, no, I was just checking Facebook.
Remember, I'm handling all of your business arrangements for the foreseeable future. Again, the doctor said no stress. That's what he told me.
Yeah, sure, but I miss working. I feel okay.
You can speak to your friends, but not. Let me handle employers, okay?
Oh, okay, doll. Whatever you want. But listen, I'm fine.
I sit on the bed. I move her hair aside again. I smile. The truth is, Ada, that time you spent in hospital has really taken a toll on your looks.
What?
I really don't think it's a good idea for you to be photographed, for you to do any modelling for the next couple of weeks, at least, until you've got your strength back up, until you've got your health back. You know, I don't want someone, a photographer, catching sight of you and spreading some rumour that you've got an eating disorder or something, because you look incredibly pale. You obviously weren't eating, you were being pipe fed in the hospital. Point is, you've been through quite a trauma. And what's most important right now is that we get you right. And yes, your physical health, you may be able to stand up and run a marathon. You probably could. You're a strong girl. Always have been. But you look like you've been unwell. And you know how capricious, how insensitive these magazines can be. And you know what will happen if a fashion label catches wind that they think that you're on drugs, or they think that you've started throwing up your lunch.
Right, yeah, that's true, I guess.
So that's why you're going to stay right here, you're going to let me look after you, you're going to be safe. And then once we've got you all hale and hearty, we'll get you out walking the catwalk again.
Okay, doll. I guess so. Thank you for telling me so frankly.
Listen, I still think you are the most beautiful creature that has ever walked this earth. I'm never going to think differently. You are stunning from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. Doesn't matter what you wear, what you don't wear. I'm being honest like this, however, because I don't want it to take you by surprise. I don't want someone to be mean and vindictive.
No, that does make sense. Thank you, baby.
Oh, it's fine. Now I'm going to make you some breakfast. Well, it's late night, I suppose. I'm going to make you some supper. And I'm going to need to head on out.
Yeah. You can just make me some soup or something. I don't really feel so hungry.
Don't worry, I know exactly what you need.
Okay. Fair enough.
Now, I'm no expert around the kitchen, but I'm sure I can put something together.
I know you can. You can do anything. Alright, so the next scene we're going to have is going to be at the meeting ground. And all of you arrive more or less at the same time. There is a large lake that reflects the light of several battery-driven torches circling Chicago's assembled kindred. Every clan is represented, although many vampires neglect to show due to potential for Inquisition scrutiny. An eerie silence dominates the circle. The circle that surrounds almost what looks like a medieval form of witch-burning pile of wood. In the middle there is a chair, and on the chair sits Malankov. He is not awake. He looks worse than when he arrived in Chicago, and it's bad. He is barely holding on to his existence. Jackson is watching the entire circle from a couple of meters away. And the sheriff is walking around amongst the different kindred, talking to them, making sure everything is okay. And you see each other. Alan is arriving with, well, someone in a car. You can't really see who that is yet. And Vincent is arriving on his own for the first time, without his servant. And Dolph is arriving with a taxi, as he often does. Dolph, you see Alan first.
Alan, I see you have a friend.
Yeah. Meet Crook, the owner of the establishment where we started this journey together, and also, as it appears, my sire.
How you doing? He reaches out a hand.
I look down at the hand. And then I shake it. Oh, fine. Your sire. This is a new...
development, yeah. Crook, this is Dolph. He helped us to, escort the delegation and get this, and I look over and I see the circle in the gathering, and I see Malin in the middle. Oh. This one.
Yeah, he looks bad, doesn't he?
Yeah. We had a little fight.
Crook, your name's familiar.
Yeah.
We were told you might try and interfere with this.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got busy.
Well, you did also promise you wouldn't, as long as we did that service that we never did for you.
Yeah, that's true. I got my mind in other places.
Well, I made no promises to you, Mr. Crook, but I do hope that meeting up with your child again has brought you some measure of satisfaction. Alan, could I borrow you for a minute?
Yeah, sure. When is this starting?
In half an hour's time.
Alright. I'll see you later, I say to Crook as I take some steps away with Dolph.
Take care, kid.
Yeah.
Well, this all seems like a very pleasant revelation.
To be honest, I don't know what to think.
He's calling you kid, telling you to take care.
Yeah, you know, I don't know if I told you how things turned out in our first meeting, but it was basically me trying to intimidate him by
I remember.
Yeah, and now I just figured, you know, I'd turn to someone who's of my clan that I'd actually spoken to, and I showed up at his door, and I first felt I had to apologize and explain the situation, what with us not performing his service, and he's like, that's fine, seeing as you are my child. You know, just like that. That's kind of how he said it, just straight out. And what do you do with something with that, like that, you know?
Well, it sounds to me, if you don't mind my being honest, that he's just finding a different way of leveraging you.
I don't know, man. I don't think he has too much to gain from me.
He may just be a sadistic, manipulative fuck. You don't know that this guy is your sire. All you know is that you're both cursed with, well, as you are.
I get that, man, and I know it could be true. I could verify the whole thing with the prince and whatever, but I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna make too much of a difference for me moving on. Anyways, he's a loner. I don't tend to stick so much to the family, as you know. Anyways, so.
Well, that's what I suggest, Alan. Stay separate. Keep close to your boyfriend. You don't need to get involved with your Crook, sire or not. For all we know, he deeply resents the fact that we didn't do his favour. Now he is just going to screw with you, make you do all kinds of things as his child, and then reveal to you that he didn't embrace you.
Yeah, I appreciate how you could see it like that, and I get your angle. Don't get me wrong, but I've got a bit of a different feel to it, considering how our last meeting went down and things like that. He's not. I don't think he's a bad person, but I will keep that in mind. But speaking of our loved ones, how did it go down yesterday? Was you get back okay?
Biting back the urge to snap. Because it is Alan, after all, you know. But people do keep asking. Oh, Ada is fine, very happy to be home.
Good to hear that. It worked out.
And
with the...
the furniture moving around, it went down a treat.
Ah. Well, that's good. That's good to hear, man. I'm happy to hear that.
Vincent, you see Alan and Dolph talking. You just arrived.
Yes, I look around for a moment, thinking to myself, a little anxious at being outside with this many of us. I mean, what happens if some person with a camera comes by? But hopefully that won't happen, I guess. The prince would make sure of that. Ah, I know those two. I walk over and offer my usual brief smirk of a smile.
Ah.
Gentlemen, good evening.
Oh, Vincent.
Hey.
Dolph.
You alright? You look like you...
No, not really. Someone decided to decorate my apartment with my manservant.
Teller?
Teller?
Yes, he is no longer with us. But
Oh, that's ironic. Alan and I kind of redecorated my apartment last night.
Holy crap, what do you... Dolph!
No, Dolph. It's always a good one, No, it's fine. I'll find out who did it. Probably, well, I think I know, actually, but we'll find out. Alan, you don't know any people, do you, in your clan? I have money. I'd really like to know who did it.
Well, I bet it was fucking Malenkov, you know? He was the only one who knows about you and stuff. Maybe he went there somewhere in between, you know, the whole mess-up thing. He
Or his ghouls.
Yeah. They were, like, very menacing, telling, like, you don't know us or what we're capable of and stuff.
Bear in mind we were all staying at your apartment and they'd left before we awoke. Well, after we left...
Yeah, so they knew where you... They knew where you were.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I suppose. Well, I don't know. We'll find out. But let's not let that spoil the evening. How are you, Alan? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm good. Yeah, just found out who my sire is.
What? Oh, that's interesting. Who's that then?
Allegedly.
Alleged. Oh, I see.
This, I don't know. I don't know if you can find out if there's a way that it's true, but
I believe there is. I don't know it, but I think. The not very pleasant people. Tremere. There we go. Yes, speak to one of them at some point. They might be able to help you out for a price, of course.
yeah. Well, okay. So, whatever you call it, allegedly, this crook, the owner of the bar, like I told Dolph, where we first had the fortunate meeting. We all found each other at that fateful night.
Seems a long time ago now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my commiserations. I mean, congratulations, Crook. What a sire to have. Well, maybe he can tell you something at least.
Brothers and sisters, you hear Jackson's voice cut through all the noise, all of the chit-chat, and it turns to silence. He steps forward. He is dressed in a burgundy suit, incredibly well fitted to his tall frame. He has his hands folded in front of him. Sierra is standing a little to the side, in the middle of this circle full of kindreds. Please. Accept my sincere apology for taking up another of your nights. I'm aware you are all busy, but I guarantee that this trip to the woods will be worth it. Yesterday, my speech was interrupted by Lasombra with a very important message from her clan. A message that potentially will change our history, which is also why I called you here tonight with such urgency. The clan of Night, longtime enemies, wish to join our ranks. Of course, my first response was dismissive. However, and Prince Jackson turns around to face Sierra. Sierra came with a proposition I found very interesting and perhaps even plausible. In fact, why don't our first-hand witnesses, he gestures to you three, step forward and tell the city what Clan Lasombra offered? He steps back and looks at you.
I look at Vincent.
I start moving up to where he gestured, not really noticing if the other ones are moving or not.
I adjust my tie and jacket, look to Dolph, see that look, and then see Alan heading forward. What is it? And I think to myself, good for him. But I will take a few steps myself and move just a bit in front of him as I say, well, fellow kindred, quite simple actually. The clan of Night, Lasombra, wish to join the Camarilla. Now, of course, due to historical issues, at least that's what I'm led to believe, the prince would not take on such a deal without a price. And the price? Well, according to Miss Sierra here, they are willing to offer, or their elders, staked and presented before Prince Jackson, and I can only assume in the long run before any prince of any Camarilla city, in exchange for their entrance into our beloved sect.
A loud mumble starts appearing around all of the clans, and they are visibly in shock over this offer. The prince steps forward again. As the prince of this blessed city, I'm not gonna make this decision single-handedly. I'm no tyrant, unlike our brothers and sisters in other cities. Instead, every individual present tonight, fledgling, elder, neonate, and ankler, has a say. And it's very simple. Do we accept the Lasombra and the potential murder of hundreds of our kind? Or do we extend the olive branch and take advantage of our new alliances? Whatever we decide will be concentrated with him. Jackson points at Malenkov. Being burned. He is an example of what Clan Lasombra needs to purge from its ranks. The silence breaks into a loud talking and shouting back and forth. Some kindred were still opposed to the idea of the Lasombra joining, not only because they are so bad, but because the idea of mass murder of a clan makes younger kindred balk.
I briefly just look aside to Alan at all this conversation and quietly say, if you didn't mind me taking center stage, Alan, just, ease you into things like this.
Well, you're the most informed of us, I think, so, why, it doesn't hurt that you take the talking position, I say, and I adjust my crimson red turtleneck that I have chosen for the night.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Dolph, what about you? What are your lot going to do?
Well, that's their business, really, isn't it? Although I have to say, just from pure curiosity now, I would be tempted to vote in favour just to see how impossible they find this task. I mean, one would assume there's something of a power disparity between fledglings and elders, and If all the fledglings are bringing all of their elders, I imagine there's going to be a bit of a fight, and only one half of those fighters are going to have any kind of strength. So...
Yes, I know what you mean. Not to mention how many fledglings or neonates the Sierra actually speak for. I find it very strange to think that the Lasombra of South America, the Lasombra of Australia, they're all going to just fall in line, really?
Well, think of it like this. Maybe this just opens the dam of discussion. If this happens in one city, it might happen in another because they replicate it, the deals might change from domain to domain, but if it can be shown that it can be done, I guess an elder doesn't have to be something that's 100 or more years old. For instance, if this was a question of the Nosferatu, Alan might just see Crook as his elder and deliver him. And he's fulfilled his part of the deal. Welcome to the Camarilla.
It's going to be messy.
It's funny. To me, it seems like, an uncivilized part of the world in a way. How things have been in more or less lawless areas, or are still, and perhaps in some parts of the world. And now they get a chance to join. I could see how many would see a benefit in that, and maybe want to clean out their old ways.
That's a good way of putting it, Alan. Well said, well said.
The prince approaches you. He has been observing you for a little while from a distance, and approaches you with a smile. Can I interrupt? Just for a brief second.
Yeah.
I doubt we could stop you.
This is a little controversial, but all of the votes will obviously be counted in the different clans and will be delivered to the respective primogenites, and the clan will cast their vote. But you've been such a big part of this entire thing, and I see you as a unit. I see you as a group. I see you as more important than some of the clans here tonight. Which is why I'm going to give you the possibility to cast a vote as a unit.
Oh.
I want you to decide what you as a coterie want. Apart from your clan, apart from your sire, what do you want? You've been the most active part of this entire thing. I think it's only fair. Please take some time to discuss it. If you have any questions, you can come to me.
And I look at him as he leaves, and suddenly I feel like a great bigger burden has come on me than what it was before. Well, what does that mean? That we are like the clans, our own representatives?
No.
It means we are now just as responsible for this bullshit as we were when we were playing taxi drivers.
Yes, that's more correct. Yes, the other clans will still be having their say. He just means that he's seeing our coterie as a representative of just ourselves, if you will.
Yes, because we've had personal experience of these Lasombra, and now we might have a deciding vote, which means if it gets fucked up, it's our fault.
I mean, I met people who... talking to Crook, for example, he's a guy who is sort of part of Camarilla society, but not the biggest fan of the laws. He bends them where he can, and so on. Think about the people that would be in the Sabbat then, who... the elders, there's no guarantee that they all just crazy people like Malankov. They could be just preferring their own quiet kind of life, kind of thing.
Well, that's good.
And then suddenly they're gonna get into some sort of witch hunt. Will they be hunted down for this decision that's been made?
And why would that be your concern, Alan?
Just the humanity of it all.
Humanity.
Well, yes, Vincent, as much as we may play big bad monsters in the night, a life is still a life. You're not just going to snatch one away, are you, without care?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to be doing anything. I mean, they're the ones doing it themselves. Second of all, they're the Sabbat. I point to Malenkov. No, Alan, I think you've got it a little wrong, I'm afraid. Elders all are like him. That is their whole point. That is why they were the Sabbat. Now, I don't know that much, but I do know enough to know there's a reason they've not been part of us, and as far as I'm concerned, he's demonstrated it perfectly.
All I know is the Sabbat are considered boogeymen, and in many domains, my clan is considered boogeymen.
As is mine.
Indeed. So, I can't very well sit in judgment of a sect that I know very little about. I look over at the Toreador delegation at this point. Is Brett Stryker over there?
He is.
Huh. Does he show burns?
He does not look good. He is sitting down, and he is being incredibly quiet, and he is covered with a mask.
Well, that's disappointing.
And I follow your gaze, and I look over at them.
Anyway, if we do not permit these Lasombra to join, they will turn to civil war anyhow, because some of them have tried to turn their coats. If we do, they will obviously massacre a number of their own. I don't think this is avoidable. Really, what we need to do is consider what is to the benefit of the Camarilla. As I do not consider myself a member of this Camarilla, I've never been invited to join. I understand it's a rather exclusive club. I do not care for its strength. So I still abstain, just as my clan does, so you two can decide which way our coterie acts.
Wait, what does that mean? Your clan is not part of the Camarilla?
Not really,
My
no.
clan is, I believe, nominally considered anarch.
Oh.
But I don't know how the individual members respond. We're not like the Ventru or the Toreador, where we say we are all Camarilla all the way down, or all anarch. One minister might join the Camarilla, another might join the anarch movement, another may remain completely independent of all sects and focus purely on his or her faith. In my case, I have so little taste for kindred society that you might as well consider me independent.
Well, when you talked about how you I think you said something like that members of your clan value particularly to look after each other and talking to each other and things like that.
That's right.
But I mistook that then for sort of being within the Camarilla. That's genuinely any kindred then.
Yes, I'm not the biggest advocate for my clan's ways. But it's a general philosophy that when other kindred fall, we pick them up and help them.
Wow. So what do we do about this? I mean, Vincent, you think this is a good idea?
I certainly do, Alan. I certainly do. Why not? Opportunity. Worst case scenario, we get a few useless individuals and lose a few enemies. Best case scenario, well, Miss Sierra seemed quite capable. We make some new friends, and in these nights, I think it's best to have us all together. That's the problem with the, look at Dolph, independents, anarchs. We all need to be on the same page, especially the way things are developing in the world. So, yes, I don't see a problem with it. I imagine some of my clan might not be totally on board with it, because, like I said, I think my sire doesn't really care, but I think she did mention once I think there's a bit of bit of a rivalry between us. I think Lasombra apparently like the same sort of things we do, but, well, competition can sometimes increase revenues, no? So I say, why not? Yes, but what do you think, Alan?
Well, not knowing, the only people of the Sabbat that I met were Malenkov and Sierra, and they are so completely different from each other that sure, if people are like her and nice and want to encourage civilized, way of living, that seems good. And people like, Crook, for example, he's in the Camarilla, but he still finds his own way of life, so Camarilla can't be sort of that bad and strict.
No, that isn't the case, Alan.
Well, no, Crooks isn't really in the Camarilla. That's the reason he can get away what he does. He was like Genghis.
Oh.
Hence the whole him initially being potentially a problem. All the people on that list were not Camarilla. If you're in the Camarilla, you do as the prince says. You're not a problem.
Oh.
Unless you are a problem, in which case he deals with you.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
What a mess.
Don't worry, Alan. You're doing much better. Remember when we started? You barely knew anything. Now you're dealing with giant global political things. It's good stuff.
So am I part of the Camarilla?
Yes.
I don't get it. Are you not born into it?
No.
Oh.
No matter what Vincent is telling you. Vincent, I love you, but shut up. Alan is not a part of the Camarilla any more than I am a part of the Camarilla, and I think, Vincent, you are only a part of the Camarilla by dint of your sire. None of us have the power of the blood, the responsibility in this domain to draw the eyes and attention of the big elite club known as the Camarilla. Vincent, as I say, he edges in. But Alan, until this last week, I doubt many kindred in this city even knew you existed. And I deliberately avoid this kind of thing. So, do I think we're part of the Camarilla? Well, as I say, Vincent. So Vincent, in my opinion, this affects you more than anyone else. And if you have a strong feeling one way or other, I will not oppose your play.
Oh, thank you.
I nod thoughtfully, and then I say, yeah, what he said. If this is good and important to you, then I'm happy to stand behind it as well.
Well, thank you. Yes, I think it's a good idea, and if you two then aren't going to disagree with me, then I say that's our vote. 4.
As you're talking, you can see that several of the leaders of the clans and representatives of the clans are passing their vote to Damien, who is standing behind Prince Jackson, and they are nearing the end. Damien leaves for a little while. Before he returns, he looks a little concerned. Looks up at Jackson and whispers something to him. Prince Jackson steps forward again. If I can get your attention again, my apologies. See, this is quite interesting. I didn't think that we would be so diverse in our way of voting in the city, but we've come to a draw. And I, as the prince of this city, have taken the liberty to give our coterie, as I've presented to you, the 3 gentlemen who did so much and have by far spent the most time with the Lasombra delegates, a vote. I know that is perhaps controversial to some people who likes to delve into rules of voting, and it's a very unique kind of democracy, but nonetheless, I believe that as they have spent the most time with the Lasombras, they would know and have a better judgment than we do. So, what's it going to be?
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we played the chronicle The Sacrifice from Chicago by Night for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Chicago by Night is published by our friends at Onyx Path Publishing, and Vampire the Masquerade is published by Modifius. Our storyteller was Klara Horskjær Herbøl, and we were also joined by the gentleman gamer Matthew Dawkins. Check them out on social media and on their Patreons to support their work in the tabletop space. The intro was composed for us by the amazing Simon Kölle, and he's also provided all of the music for this chronicle. Check out his work over on simonkolle.com. Sound effects are created by the fine folks at freesound.org and Syrinscape. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, and David, for their generous support. And we would of course like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult of Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with Yelmer and Craig. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you so much for listening, and see you soon again.